Psychedelic here, back with an update. I got 4 LPs to share and 145. And if you guys checked out my last video, which was a live stream last Saturday, I talked about all these records here. And if you don't want to watch the whole 2 hours, it's about 2 hours long. This is the video for you. But if you guys want to check it out, that's cool. I might get back into live streams. We'll just see how they go. I do enjoy them sometimes, but sometimes it draws a slow crowd, and sometimes it can be kind of boring. But if things are going on and I'm in the right mood, I'll stick around and make sure to do them on the weekends. So we'll see how it goes for a while. But yeah, got these records, like I said, and also picked up this really cool shirt. Wake up, it's tomorrow. Yes. Better than your typical band shirts you find at Walmart or something, right? Pink Floyd all day long. But yeah, and better than your Hot Topic, and I picked this up on Redbubble. There's some cool ass band t-shirts on there. I got another one coming in the mail as well. I'll show that on camera as well. I'm really glad it fits me too, because anymore I'm kind of in between like a medium and a large. Mostly large though. And this is a large. But all brands are kind of different, the way they're made. If it's cotton or not. And so I was pretty fortunate that this fits perfectly on me. So I just hope the other one does too. I'm kind of more pumped about that one, even though this one's just as cool. So you just don't see these kind of shirts every day. But yeah, anyways, let's get to the records though. Starting with, all the way back up till recently. So starting with the 45, I'm really glad I picked this up. This is a 45 I actually forgot about, and then somehow came across it when I was looking at a label of another record. You guys know the track by The Journey Back, Plastic People, I think it's called. It's on A Fistful of Fuzz compilation. And I was looking at, some other stuff on the same label, and I totally forgot about this 45, especially the B-side I remember very well. And the Journey Back 45 is pretty expensive. I'm surprised this one is relatively cheap compared to that one. And this is New Directions, the A-side Springtime Lady. And then the B-side is probably maybe a little more popular. It's a cover of the Cream track. She Was Like a Bearded Rainbow, I think it stands for. She Was Like a Bearded Rainbow. Both sides, killer stuff. I mean, I don't know if this has been comped or not, but the A-side's kind of more like a typical West Coast sounding acid rock band, like 20th Century Zoo or Strawberry Alarm Clock with some vocal harmonies going on. So it's got kind of like a pop sensibility, but it's got some awesome fuzz wah in it. And it's a cool A-side. But the B-side is probably where they get, even ultra heavy with the opening riffs to that Cream cover. It's debatable, man. This may be better than the original. Check it out for yourselves. It is on YouTube. So, and the vocals kind of remind me as if John Lennon were singing the song. It's kind of got this kind of British flavored vocal lead on it, even though they were an American band. I think these guys might have been out of the Virginia area, which was where the label is from. Yeah, Norfolk, Virginia. So this is one to pick up on. Check it out. Both sides are just, it's almost a 5-star record for me. 5-star 45. So yeah, this next record, this is one I just took a chance on, and it was $7 on eBay. I think I just searched, private press just to see what's listed, And then I gave this a listen on Discogs. There was only one track on YouTube, and I thought this is kind of nice, I wonder what the rest is like. So I picked this up on the whim. This is Image, the band Image, with their album Today and Tomorrow. And this is actually a single-sided LP, which I don't know how common those are, but usually they release it as an EP, but this is a 33 RPM single-sided record. This came out in 1980, I think. The dates kind of vary on this. I've only seen 1980, and they must be like a San Diego kind of power pop band. Don't know anything about them. I would say, there's definitely two tracks that are worth mentioning. The title track, which is on YouTube, Today and Tomorrow, and the last track, Kim. It's got some nice synthesizer, and it's kind of got a moody ballad-like theme to it. Otherwise, it's pretty nice power pop, I would say, but it's, something I don't listen to every day, but I'm glad I took a chance on it. I don't know how scarce this is, but it was a nice discovery. So that's the only side to this record, and then it's just a blank label, and the needle just goes even over the label if you put it on there. I tried it, so yeah. Not much else to say, I guess, except I don't know. See what you think of that track on. I think it's on Discogs. If not, I'll probably maybe add it on there. I think that's how I listen to it. So not too bad. And then this is a nice discovery I found. Definitely up my alley when I'm looking for kind of vocal pop driven sunshine pop. I've never seen this album in my life, at least I know of, and took a chance on this. I think I just discovered a song when I was listening to this 60s playlist someone had made, and one of the tracks caught my attention. I just kind of was like, wonder what else is on this. This is The Forum, The River is Wide, and I think this was a minor hit for these guys back in the day. I do know I first knew about this song through the Grassroots when I was like obsessed with them as a teenager, and I didn't care much for the song, and this version on here is actually probably the weakest track, which opens the album. After that, it kicks it up a notch in the whole kind of blissfully, the sun's shining, and it's just like all these blissful harmonies. It's the good stuff. It's also got kind of a loungy pop mood to it as well. My favorite tracks, the one that comes to mind right away, Girl Without a Boy, is definitely very loungy, kind of moody sounds. And then they actually kind of dip into psychedelia on a couple tracks at least. Trip on Me, which was released as a single. It's got that kind of piano-y effect. I don't know if it's a piano or if it's just like chimes that they do. It's that typical psych effect that goes, it's just like kind of these descending chime chords. It's awesome. And then the other track uses that same effect on World of Illusion. So, sorry my camera cut out on me for some reason. It's been kind of doing that lately, so I'll just splice this together. Hopefully it looks good. And as I was saying, here's the track listing. World of Illusion. That's my other favorite track on here, but overall pretty pleasant. And the more I listen to this, the more I like it. And it's a super cheap album. You can find nice copies for like $5. And if you love Sunshine Pop, pick it up. Even for the track Trip on Me alone is worth mentioning. And it's on the same label as The Leaves, the Mira label. I think there's a couple variations of the label. I think one's in blue, like a blue Mira label. So yeah, this was kind of a nice discovery to hop on. So it's been kind of on the cheapy end for a while. I like to pick up things that are kind of undiscovered, but also kind of cheap. That's kind of really where I'm at right now. But of course, we all love the the more expensive, the more better they are typically, but not always. And then this one may look a little more familiar to my sight crowd. This is kind of a more well-deserved, well-respected kind of record in those circles. And I finally picked up on a copy of Mr. Flood's Party. This is a promotional copy. Picked this up on eBay on the bid for about the average price. I can never find it under 20 bucks, ever. And this was just under that, so back's a little worn, but it seemed to play a tad less better than I thought. It plays about VG, unfortunately, but because he listed it as VG plus, and I was a little disappointed, but usually the sellers get it pretty accurate for me, but this one didn't. It's got a little stainage there, but it only got it on the label. A little water residue or something. White label promo. And this album, this is one that has taken me a long time to absorb and kind of get into. I would say the mix of this album, the production sound is just kind of muddy in a lot of spots. I think if this had a remastered job or sort of a reproduced sort of mix to it, if it was engineered a little better perhaps, or if they used less instruments on certain tracks, this may be better than what it is. So at the end of the day, I do like it. I do like what they're going for, but some of the arrangements are kind of complex, and it takes you a while to kind of figure out where they're going with this. It is kind of like a progressive, sort of typical, straightforward pop rock sound, but the way they use these arrangements are kind of unique and all the same. They have some orchestra mixed in, a few psychedelic moments, not entirely, but I think by the time you get to side 2, it gets a little better. But so yeah, this is one to take your time with, and I wouldn't recommend this to newbies getting into the psychedelia. I don't think it's a good starter album. But even though it sounds like I'm bashing it, I'm not. I think it is still a very good record. It's just, yeah, that muddy production just does not make it shine very well. And this also comes with the lyric insert, which I discovered on my live stream. I didn't even know it had the insert. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, the Cotillion label. You didn't see a whole lot of one album bands on this label too often, but yeah, Mr. Flood's Party. I think those guys were based out of, a lot of sources say New York City or the New York area, but some guy was for sure it was New Jersey, but who knows? Somewhere on the East Coast. Okay, so with this last one here, I just got this in the mail yesterday, and spinned it once already, and man, this just sounds great on vinyl. This is an album I've known a long time, kind of been keeping my eye on it. It seemed like prices were kind of skyrocketing for a while, but now that it's kind of like around the $50 to $60 range, which is a lot better for what this album is. And this is a private I picked up on. This is Where Are We Going by ID. This is also a US band. I think they formed in Texas and they recorded this in New York City. My sources said. And this is in the shrink wrap. So yeah, this album was recorded in 75, but was released in 77. Some sources say 76, but the label says 77, and then on the back here it says 76. So years are kind of scattered about, but who cares? Mid 70s. So yeah, with this album though, it's, if you love like super tripped out, very long, elongated instrumental space rock, this one's for you by far. Let's see. It's one of those albums where it just takes you somewhere else for sure. The Image. I've seen a few other records with this generic private label, private sleeve. But this album in particular, this cover art really hits it spot on what the music's like. It's very apocalyptic, very dramatic. kind of erratic in some spots with the guitar scaling of the guitarist. Just really wails throughout. Just various and several guitar leads and solos on this thing. Very minimal vocal passages, which is nice. And then there's also some really lush mellotron sprinkled throughout as well. Um, so yeah, I would pick this up if you're into, wanting to be taken off into the cosmos and not coming back for a while. So this is pretty cool stuff. Starts out with Sunrise, and then pretty much a 30-minute title track, which is split between side 1 and 2. And then you have like a 9-minute Solar Wind, kind of closing it all up. Coming back down to Earth. I mean, that's what it really feels like, with all these themes going on. And, there's like a few political messages here and there. And like I said, very apocalyptic sort of mood to the whole thing. But this is really nice, so pick it up. Id. Not the same id on RCA, by the way. And I'll show the label here. Got kind of its own custom label. Aura Records. So yeah, I was kind of pleased to find this for cheap stuff. I've seen it yet. Like I said, I've been seeing it around the $50 price range, which I think it was at one time, but I saw it one time where it was just, always $100 almost, and wasn't really ready to pay that much. So picked up on that one. So that about does it for now. I think I have one more record at least coming in the mail. And I believe Ron at Hog's Ear Report showed this record a long time ago. A friend reminded me of that. So I don't remember him showing this record, but yeah, this is one that's kind of under the radar and is a cheap one. It's kind of similar to like albums like Joyride by Friend Sound and Lumpy Gravy. So there's a couple hints for you. Otherwise, man, just been kind of sticking close to home yet. Haven't really hit up the record shops yet, even though they are open and, of course they're doing the whole social distance and sanitizing and whatnot. But, and the warm weather is coming in, and I don't know, just haven't had time to venture out, I guess. I do have the weekend off, but I am actually going back to my hometown for the weekend and see what happens. Yeah, I'm really happy to get this shirt though. I'm actually getting a Shinki Chen t-shirt, and it's the artwork from his debut album. Yes. I've always imagined having that on a t-shirt, and my dreams come true. So that's all I got. So take care, and we shall see you shortly.